All right, everybody, we've got a Battletech game going on. It's the fight of the city we have here. Over here in the spaceport landing out of their dropships, we have, well, four leopards dropped in and dumped their payload over here. Their mission is to clear out the city. There is some planetary defense forces in the city. As you can see, they are scattered throughout the area. They moved in to defend the area when they seen the incoming ships. And then there's a fast-moving force back here of some Pegasus. There's a reactionary force to figure out what's going on as they see what's happening. All right. So your job is to land what you have and then clear the city out of all opposition and get to the edge of the board over here. Any questions what your mission is?
Kill, maim, burn.
There you go. Corn.
Yes, sir.
Blood for the blood god. All right. So there you go. That is the mission. And we have the Yo cards ready. And yes, this is your typical classic Battletech. In case you want to know, it's not Alpha Strike or anything. We do play classic. All right, first one up is me, and we'll be back with turn one. Turn one is complete. Over here, we had the tanks moving down the boulevard right through here. We got some Pegasus hovercraft, a Shrek PPC carrier. We have some Hunter tanks unleashing fire along the line. We have some Rommel tanks over here and some Patton tanks. There's a Rommel tank over there just getting beat down because he came out and it's like, whoa, how'd these guys get so close? And over here, these guys are coming out of the spaceport. And that poor Hunter, not Hunter, but a Striker armored car is under that cloud right there. He got decimated. Everything else got on the front line kind of got whittled, plinked away, but it was that Vindicator there. He unleashed with some PPC and a couple medium lasers and just ripped a new one right through the front slope and cooked him. Okay, over here, the barely missed with the AC-20 on the rifleman and did a little bit of damage to the, let's see, yes, the T-Bolt took an SRM-6, missed with the LRMs over here. The Hunchback right there, the Swayback out front right there, he took a little bit of damage, and so did the Swayback. He's a Swayback, the brown one.
Well, both of them are Swaybacks.
Yeah, I think
the brown one took some in the leg.
Yeah, a little bit of plinky damage. Was it the Panther that got hit with the LRM-20?
The Panther took,
or was it the Shadow?
Took 10, 15.
Somebody got hit with a LRM-20.
And the Vindicator there took 5. So, I don't know, maybe it was Chris.
Yeah, because they hit with 12 damage.
Somebody got.
Yeah. So some damage done.
Yeah, the Hunchback. This one.
Okay. All right. So some damage was done. A little bit. It's been a little bloody. Scratched off the paint on some of these mechs. So we're going to move on to turn 2 on the big red die. There we go. And first one up is 6 of hearts. So we'll be back with turn 2. Turn 2. All right, over here. Everybody's moving up down the main boulevard over here, laying down fire. The Hunchback in the front there, the green one, he took a lot of fire, took some damage, but he's still standing. Over here, the Vindicator jumped over the building to escape the 2 demolishers that are in the middle. He's like, yeah, I don't like those big giant pills coming in my direction. And then he put a PPC into the front of the Hunter tank. And then the Hunter returned the favor with a low grade.
LRM strike.
Yeah, I think I only hit what 6 or something like that.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot. Let me look.
That was a minor plink. And over here, these 3 mechs unleashed onto the striker and killed the driver. So that tank is not going to be moving for a turn. And then they turned around and put some damage on the Shadowhawk. And
Didn't one of them also get a turret lock?
yeah,
Yep.
the striker also has a turret lock.
Driver's dead and they got a turret lock?
Yes.
That's a shame.
Yeah, and that's special. Now over here, the front Patton tank took all the hedgehog of hunchback fire and died a horrible death.
Yeah, but you survived a lot of that fire.
Yeah. And over here, we have the Battle Master jumped in behind and got hit in the back with the hatchet, punched through his armor, and did 3 crits. Yeah. So like 2 engines.
He weapons fire phase hit him in the back in one of his side torsos.
Yeah, and then crunched and everything else. It was like, yeah.
Then the melee phase center torso. Ow.
Yeah, it was like, but he's still standing. He took a gyro hit, but he's still on his feet. Good pilot.
Yeah, but 2 engine hits he's not having a good time.
10 heat was not planned on.
Yeah.
And okay, then they totally forgot that all they had to do is shoot the front slope of tank number 1, and he can go. But now his driver's back. They got somebody in the driver's hatch, so now he can move.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought it was immobilized.
He's a 1-2, but his driver was dead, so now they had to get somebody.
I thought we immobilized it as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, 1-2 might as well be immobile.
Yeah. All right, and then the over here we have the showdown between the striker and the T-bolt, and the T-bolt did some damage. I think that couple medium lasers.
Yeah, something like that.
And then he returned with an LRM 10. So he did 6, you did 10. So they're moving along. But that is the end of turn 2. And we're moving on to turn 3. There we go. Turn 3. And we'll be back. Turn 3. Over here, we had the T-bolt backed up so he can get a nice shot on the tank over there, and the tank shot back at him and missed, and he cored out what was left of the tank. All he had to do was just hit it once. 1 point of internal structure on the front, that's all he had to do, and if that rifleman had moved and kicked him, it would have been done. Over here, he shot down the lane and shot the trebuchet on the hill, or not the hill, but the building. Over here, the what do you call it? The Battle Master actually was the last guy to move. Then he backed up behind and wanted to kick the hatchet man, and then everybody unleashed on him and hit him with flamers, along with his engine hit and his gyro hit, and he had lots of heat, and he falls flat on his face. Yeah. Made our shutdowns.
Yeah, and his ammo explosion.
Yeah. It's
It
like,
made every check you needed to make except for standing.
yeah. So that was bad. And then over here, we had the massive gunfire down the lanes. They over here, the dead Demolisher did a double pill strike with the big, massive AC-20s to the center torso of the Hunchback. But the Hunchback was lucky enough to have 2 edge, and he rolled one of those edge, said re-roll it, and it went into his leg. Instead of coring him out, he survived. And then they turned around and all the Hunchbacks unleashed onto him and cored him out. So no more Demolisher number 1. Demolisher number 2 over here. He put 2 pill slugs into the Vindicator, and the Vindicator has no armor on his chest and
He's pretty much crying.
hard.
He's crying hard.
And then the Pegasi here, he put a couple SRM2s into him also. That hurt. he did that first, and then the slugs came in. And it's like, oh, this hurts. And then over here, we got an LRM 20 went into the hunchback there. An LRM 20 went into the green hunchback there. Now, the worst thing about it was these two Pegasi that are over here. You can see them there. Shot that one hunchback right there with 4 SRM 4s. And then LRMs into the other hunchback. So they were a hurting unit. And then over here, the hunter and the striker hit the hunchback over here. Did some damage. Then the striker, since he couldn't escape, they're still trying to put a driver in the hole. He dead. No more driver. No more tank. And then a wandering PPC almost hit the hunter back here. This hunchback, he unleashed with all of his medium lasers and missed a couple of them, but you hit with 5, I think. And you scattered that damage up pretty good. But he has some motive hits on him, so he is slow. He's like a 3-5 now.
Yeah.
And
this hunter over here is immobile for next turn.
Yeah, because he took a driver hit. He got a lucky hit. So, there we go. Not good at all. Alright, so we missing anything? And we'll be back with the big turn 4 on the big red die. Turn 4. It's a bloody affair out there, I tell you. It's a bloody affair. Over here, they moved up. He parked himself. They unleashed onto the trebuchet, who's now shot up pretty good. Is that a good spot to just sit there and take it? I don't know. Over here, the tank pulled back. The Battlemaster tried to stand and fell flat on his face and hurt himself because he had a gyro hit. Failed his piloting, trying to stand. Now he's parked there and next to a hatchet man with a shiny blade. That could end badly. All right, over here, the Pegasi come flying in, unleashed onto the Ostrak, gave him a bunch of damage, put a missiles over here into the trebuchet for secondary targets. And over here, in other words, they see that smoke cloud. That used to be a fresh, brand new, untouched, unscathed Rommel tank. Well, the Enforcer shot, hit with a large laser, boxcars to the turret, hit the ammo. Boom. Bad. Okay. Then over here, this Pegasi, he's right there. He puts 8 missiles into the back of the hunchback, which only one of those missiles actually hit the rear area. And the rest got in the arms and legs and everything. Then he fired his secondary target, LRM, clear across the board over here, needing 11s to hit. Hit with an 11, 3 points damage, hit the center torso, and no more Vindicator.
Yep.
Okay, then over here, the Demolisher tried to shoot that Vindicator and missed by 1 with his 2 big pills. And over here, the Panther jumped off the building, put a PPC into the Hunter, then the sway back that's right there just obliterated it. This way back over here marched up and hit this Hunter and obliterated it. Oh, yeah, that's not so good. But then these guys, all these vehicles here shot over here and hit the hunchback over there. That hunchback's missing a lot of armor, isn't he? Yeah, he's not doing so good. But then they turned around and fired over here and took out that one striker, I think it was. Now, the story of the day, you see this Shrek PPC carry. He's fired 4 times in this game with 12 PPCs and only 1 is hit this entire game. With those odds of what's going on, I don't know. And then in the Hatchet Man does take a hatchet and just obliterosio, how I pronounce that, or whatever it is, obliterated the poor Battlemaster and put a into his chest, 3 crits and 1 gyro, 2 engine hits. No more Battlemaster. Wah, wah, wah. So that is everything, right?
That's it.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess we're moving on to turn 5. This is probably going to be the last turn at this rate. You guys have been killing vehicles right and left. All right, so we'll be back with turn 5. Turn 5. It's another bloody day at the office. Over here, we have a major cluster. Trebuchet, he didn't take any fire this turn.
Nope.
The striker came over here, hit the T-bolt with his weapons fire, with his SRM, and then he put an LRM into the rifleman. And then these 2 Pegasi put 4 SRMs into the rifleman, and we hit with 21. And you think with 21 rolls, I'd roll 1-7. No, didn't happen.
Nope. The only place that got hit with no armor was the arm. No crit.
No crit. Yeah, it's like there are times I was needing 12s and stuff I was hitting, but no, it's like when time for the crit and hit the spot, it didn't happen. And then they hit the 1 Pegasi right there and did an engine kill on it. And then they hit the Patton tank right there, did an engine kill on it. So those 2 were immobilized and done for. So the crews bailed out and they got kicked and stomped on anyway. T-Bolt did a kick on the back deck and really cut the movement in half with a crit on the rear deck there. Yeah, so that Pegasi is like hampered badly. Then over here, this Enforcer and the sway back right there hit the Shrek PPC carrier. 2 large lasers to the front, and then the Trebuchet fired his LRM at long range, needing a 10. He rolls a 12, did a bunch of damage, and between those 3, they ripped apart the PPC carrier. So he wasn't worth the points paid for. He did 20 damage in the entire game, so it was like epic fail. And then they opened up over here, can of whoop ass on the Demolisher. He fired 2 pumpkin slugs towards and failed epically. I missed horribly. It's like 2s and 3s do not hit. And then they turned around and just ripped him a new one, tore him to pieces. Then over here, that Pegasi is a 1-2 mover also. So they really hurt that one. So I got 1 operational Pegasi, and then a semi-operational striker and 2 operational hunters. I think we're going to call it there.
Good idea.
I think I'll turn around and run away.
Yeah.
So that at turn 5, the city is basically on the run. They're going to go fight another day.
We're going to tax them now.
Tax them?
Yep, we're going to tax the citizen.
All right.
Could take all the money in the bank.
Yep.
We need gold to replace our vehicle. Our mechs. So yeah, it's like at the cost of taking this sector of the city, you lost a Vindicator. Funny enough, it was just internal structure damage. You didn't take any engine hits or anything.
Yep.
So the fusion reactor is still basically there. It's just that his structure fell apart. All right, so that is the end of the game. After 5 turns, lots of dead armor.
Yay.
And some shot up mechs.
Boo.
Yeah.
There's some mechs in really hurting.
There's some mechs that are hurting.
All right, so that's it. You guys have fun?
Oh, yeah, I did.
All right. We'll see you again in the next one. How correct's out.